This is Russ and Tom for Two More Preppers, and today Tom and I are going to discuss some reasons that people prepare and why they prepare, and how you should prepare, I guess, a little bit maybe. So Tom, hand it over to you.
Everybody preps for different reasons. I mean, it's like there's probably like a handful of popular reasons out there why people prepare. I think the most common is natural disasters. You can prepare for those and be quite successful at it. Usually when something like that happens, it's usually in a state, and the surrounding states will jump in there and send supplies in. You usually only ever need, enough stuff for, probably at the most a week.
Unless like Katrina, which was
that was
several months, but that's something really significant.
That was devastating, but that's what we prepare for mostly is like events like that, because it can happen in your hometown, but yet 10 miles away, everybody's life is good for them.
Right.
So that's why it's important, and I think natural disasters like that, and it don't even have to be weather related, just like people in West Virginia when the water got contaminated.
Yeah.
And I think they're still down there struggling.
That should wake a lot of people, and now it's up into Ohio the last time I heard. Now, I don't know if they've gotten it all cleaned up or not. I haven't heard nothing lately, which is kind of weird. You don't hear nothing at all.
But that's scary in itself. You think about things like that, and that's usually localized. Then there's people that worry about the volcanoes and earthquakes, and everybody's got a good reason, I think, to worry about things like that. We live up here in the mountains, and I guess our biggest thing is probably maybe weather related. Russ lives over here. He's pretty much isolated. The worst thing that could happen with Russ would be his fire go down, and it has many times. He's well prepared. He's got a generator up there. He runs his whole house. When it happens, it happens. He's ready, and that's what it's all about. Long term, fire went out. Hey, sooner or later you're going to run out of fuel.
Yeah, and that's one reason. Like you got this down here now, the bunk out or bug out place.
Yeah.
We got a wood stove to keep warm. In the house and in the garage, which is what Tom and I is using now.
So so everybody prepares for different reasons, and you probably talk to 20 people and they got 20 different reasons why they prepare. A lot of people prepare for the collapse. I worry about the collapse of this system, the whole money thing. Something like that happens. Well, I mean, what do you do? If you wake up Monday morning and that 200, 300, 5,000, 8,000, 20,000, maybe you're a millionaire. That money you got in the bank is gone. The economy collapsed. The federal government has seized everything. And it's happened. It happened over there a year or two ago over around Greece. They went in there and took 90% of everybody's savings or their version of retirement plan.
And the thing about this, Tom, a lot of people think that won't happen here. I'm telling you, if it could happen in any other country, why can't it happen here? I mean, it's come so close already.
Well, we got so much stuff going on in this country right now. If you're paying any attention to some of the news reports, a lot of stuff on Facebook, things like that, I know I'm really worried about it. We recently, and not just in America, but I think in combined, there was like 4 large bankers that had committed suicide within a week. Now, when you're in that situation, each one of those guys are probably multi-millionaires. They probably helped other people become millionaires. And what would scare you so bad that here you are, you got everything you ever wanted, everything you worked for. What would scare you so bad that you would go jump off of a bridge?
Yeah, they got a lot more inside information than we have.
And then a few months back, I can't say a CNN reported on it because I don't watch CNN. I find a lot of their stuff to be trash. I only watch Fox, and I'm not that crazy about Fox. Fox touched on this story. They didn't make a big deal about it. They only talked about it a little bit. But one of these insider guys from the stock market, I don't know his name. You probably Google something in there, you can probably find out. I don't know if he's a big time, and whatever they call those guys that run the
Yeah, I know what you're
the
talking about.
trades.
Right.
He made an announcement there a while back.
I guess it'd be a big shot in Wall Street.
Wall Street, big shot, I don't know what he was. Maybe he's a big time banker, I don't know. But he had publicly made an announcement. He said, get your bug out bags ready, get your guns ready, and make sure you have plenty of ammo. And if you can Google that, you'll find out that was pretty much his exact words. And when Fox reported on it a little bit, they just kind of like blowed it off as a joke and giggled a little bit about it. Do they just not believe it, or do they do that just to make people feel more at ease, that maybe it ain't a big deal and don't panic over it? So you got stuff like that coming out. If you're especially into Facebook, and you're familiar with Ernest Lee, he's the guy that did the 1,000-mile march to D.C., and then it led him into some other things, where he was traveling the country and trying to make to wake up America is pretty much what he was trying to do. He comes out there about a week and a half ago with a video, talking from inside his rig. He's a truck driver. And like I said, if you want Ernest Lee, is his name. His CB handles the general, 58-year-old American truck driver. So now he comes out with a video about a week and a half ago, and he's scared. He's scared to death. He said he gets a phone call from somebody. He won't say who, but apparently somebody that he takes a lot of faith in, believes in. Could have been someone from the government. I don't know. In the last few months, Ernest has been around. He's met a lot of big people. But he gets this phone call just saying that the American economy is going to collapse sometime in March, this March, and he's scared to death. He was just trying to put it out there as a warning. He said, if you believe him, fine. If you don't, you think he's nuts, that's fine. I've followed Ernest from like the get-go, and I think he's sincere. Who told him that? I don't know. Is it true? I don't know. But we're talking about something that's just weeks away. So I'm just saying, be ready. I don't know how you even survive something like that.
It would be hard, that's for sure.
And
Especially if you're used to having everything, all of a sudden you have nothing.
Well, yeah, you know, if the government comes in, and there's a couple videos on this out there floating around on Facebook, the internet, that Obama's probably going to come out and make a statement that the banking system has a virus, or perhaps it's been hacked, and they're shutting down all the banks until Monday or whatever. And then they figure the government is just going to seize everything they can get, which you know what that's going to do to America. Now there's some Chinese guy, Japanese guy, they all want a one world money.
Currency.
Yeah, one world currency. Hey, maybe this would be the time for the government to do something like that. And would they shit on the American people in the process? Probably.
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't put nothing against our current government.
Yeah.
I think we've got a handful of some senators in there, maybe governors, that are true Americans. But guess what? When it happens, there's probably nothing they can do about it.
Yeah.
But if we all woke up Monday and we found out that little bit of money we had in the bank was gone, and what a perfect time, because everyone says they want this country now to be like Russia, be socialized, socialism, whatever they
It
call it.
didn't work for Russia. Why is it going to work here?
Yeah, well, I don't know, but I worry about, as preppers, how do you survive something like that?
And like you said, Tom, when that first happened, I mean, eventually the government will come in and help people, like you said, some kind of welfare system, or some kind of system where everybody will get the same amount of stuff. But how long is it going to take the government to step up and actually do something?
Yeah.
That's where you got to look, and that's where you got to be ready.
Right. Meantime, your family's starving to death.
Right.
You know, there's no sense in going to work, because guess what? Who's going to pay you? You know, your employer
They're
can't
not gonna
pay you
get no
because he
money.
ain't got no money. There's no if you work at a store. Hey, who's going to Walmart when you ain't got no money?
Yeah, and there goes your grocery store.
Yeah.
There's no currency or no money going around.
So that worries me. That's got me upset. I hope March comes and goes, nothing happens.
Yeah.
But that's why we prep and prepare.
Yeah, you don't prepare just for one thing. Prepare for everything,
For
and then you're
many
ready.
things.
You're ready for
Multitudes.
anything.
Multitudes of things.
Yeah.
If something happens, you're covered. That's just like we've talked about before. My plan, anything severe happens, rather just be something local in my town. It's not safe for me and my family to stay at our house. Our plan is we'd have to probably come over here for a week, couple weeks.
Yeah, Tom's put supplies in here for him and his
Yeah.
family, so.
And I fully expect when I return home that everything that I own is gone. Because, you know, looters and people like that's just gonna come in there, kick down a door, and they're going to.
Yeah, 'cause in the
you'll
city,
see
that's
some
what's
guy,
gonna
my
happen.
neighbor will end up with my big screen TV.
Yeah.
You know, and there's gonna be nothing I can do about it.
Right.
So, but in order for me to bug out, it's gonna have to be something really bad. I'd really have to feel that my family's life is
Right.
really at stake.
Yeah.
But it's just things to think about. If you're into any of this stuff that's going on about the collapse of the economy, and it does happen in a few weeks, now's the time to bump up your preps, get in some extra food, lay in some extra water, who knows,
And if you
extra cash.
If you got some inside information you want to give us,
Yeah.
do our, in our comments or send us email to twomorepreppers@gmail.com. And like I say, you know, we'll look it up, check on it, and then we'll actually report back to you if it's something we think's worthwhile doing.
Yeah. So thanks a lot for listening to us sit here and babble.
I don't think it was too bad.
So thanks a lot, YouTube.
And remember, don't be scared, be prepared.
And if you're not prepared and the economy collapses, you and I both will be scared.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, YouTube.
All right, take care, YouTubers.